Coming next, the last talk of the day at tech stage that we are going to deliver to all of our distinguished guests here at Cybersec Asia 2025. We will be listening in the topic of the key ingredient in modern cyber attack. Now, everyone, please join me in welcoming the cybercrime and threat intelligence researcher Hudson Rock up on the stage. A big round of applause to welcome Mr. Leonid Rozenberg. Please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining this session. My name is Leonid, and I'm coming all the way from Tel Aviv, Israel, but I'm based here in Thailand. And just before we start, I would like you to imagine the next situation. You wake up in the morning, you check your computer, everything looks completely fine to you. You hear familiar notification sound, you see your favorite wallpaper. No any flashy hacks and no any ransom note. But the reality is a little bit different, because you have been completely digitally robbed by a tiny and silent piece of code that managed to steal all your personal information. And the name of this malware is info-stealing malware. The reason I'm telling you this story is because today, on behalf of Hudson Rock, I'm very excited to share with you more information about this threat. Let's go. So as the name Infostealer suggests, this is the malware that knows how to locate and exfiltrate sensitive information from your computer. And probably you ask yourself right now, what is exactly this sensitive information is? So I'm pretty sure that all of you are familiar with this kind of screen, that when you create a new account and then you have this window when the browser asks you the magic question, would you like to store your credentials? And all of us are human beings and all of us like the convenience, and we say yes, why no? Everything will be very nicely organized in one place. What can go wrong? And I can tell you a small secret, because the threat actors, the bad guys, they also like this convenience, because later they're going to use the infostealers to steal exactly this information. So yes, at stage number one, the infostealers will steal the data stored in the browsers, the passwords, the cookies, the autofills, the credit card information. Everything inside the browser will be sent to the attacker. And at stage number two, the infostealer will do some kind of scan of the device and then see if there is a crypto-related information, maybe software-sensitive tokens, and much more. But ladies and gents, it was not always this situation like today, because now I invite you to join me on a very quick cybercrime history lesson. 2007, the first known info-stealing malware's use was stealing only one and single thing, the banking credentials. 1 year later, 2008, Cobface was stealing again only one and single thing, the Facebook-related credentials. So over the year, we saw the same pattern. One malware stealing something one. Until at some point, the threat actors, those the bad guys, said, if we already manage to get into the situation when we inside somebody else's computer, why we need to steal something one? That we can simply steal everything. And this is the exactly point on the timeline that around 2016, 2017, we saw the rise of the next generation stealers, like Redline, Rakuma, Radamantis, Lokibot, Grot, you name it, that know how to target multiple things on the infected device. And when the threat actors, they manage to put their hands on this data, they get something like that. Everything nicely organized in the folders and the files, and believe me, I can stay here until tomorrow and speak with you about those folders and the files. But meanwhile, I would like you to remember this blue cookie folder, because right now we're going to dive directly into the passwords.txt file. And in the passwords.txt file, we're going to discover this situation. The URL, the username, and the password will be always correlated. So the threat actors, they don't need to guess anymore if the password will fit this account, yes, no, maybe. They have everything here. They know already that this password belongs to this account. And later, all this information will be monetized in completely different ways. The banking credentials will be used for the fraud, for the money laundering. If it's a social media account, it can be later will be taken over to spread more infostealers. I'll talk about this a little bit later. And if it's a remote connection to your company, like a RDP or the VPN, it's a gold mine for the threat actors for the ransomware deployment or corporate espionage. Obviously, here, we cannot show somebody else's information. We respect the privacy of other companies, but the last one with the hudsonrock.com, this is exactly how the attackers see the information. So when they have this correlation of the URL, username, and the password, the last thing that is left for them is just to log in. And ladies and gents, I know all of us here are cybersecurity professionals, and you will say, Leonid, but we have a multi-factor authentication on all our accounts. And I will say you that's great, because I always advocate for the another layer of the security. But do you remember this blue cookie folder that I asked you to remember a few slides ago? Because when the threat actors, they have a valid cookie session, they are able to bypass multi-factor authentication by using this valid session. They hijacking the session. And now you will say, Leonid, but we recently implemented some next level AI solution that knows how to monitor different logins from different locations, and we know how to identify the user agent. And this is also great. As I said before, I always advocate for the another level of the security, but infostealers, they know how to take a full digital footprint of the infected computer, so basically that the threat actors, they can impersonate to somebody else's device, and unfortunately they have a very good software that knows how to do that. And infostealers, this is a global issue, and I'm telling that by analyzing data from over 30 millions of the infected computers we have at Hudson Rock. As you can see, this is a global issue. This digital infection is in the Canada, States, South America, Europe, Africa, Middle East, Asia. We even have 6 infections from North Korea. Don't ask me how it happened. And there is a reason that this is a global issue, because this malware is available in a malware as a service model. Yes, you heard me correctly. Today, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be a nation-state level hacker to be an owner of this malware. Because you can go to the Russian language, dark web forums, find there those infostealer representatives. Let's call them a salesperson. Contact them, and they will provide you a full turnkey solution that you technically don't need to do anything. They will give you the onboarding manager that will help you to set up all the infrastructure. If you have any kind of questions, you will get also the support team. And even if you discovered a bug, they have a dedicated QA team that will help you to solve this problem as fast as possible. So as I said before, this is a true cybercrime business that is originated from the dark web, mostly from the Russian-speaking sources. And just take a look at that. This is the example that our research team took from the notorious Russian language forum that is available on the dark web. And this is the example of Medusa-Stealer, one of the known ones. And they know how to steal data from 100 browsers. They know how to work with over 100 encrypto wallets. Take data from the browser like as a history, as autofills. Steal data from Telegram. Tokens, different password managers, VPN configuration, and for your convenience, you will also get the management panel, where you can manage all this stolen information. We call it in the professional language, command and control server. And all of that only for $199 a month in a subscription model. So this is the reason that this is a so huge use case. This is a case because the entry level is technically very, very minimal, only $2 a month. I will tell you another secret. I don't know how to read people's minds, but I'm pretty sure that some of you are willing to see right now how this web panel looks like. And I think I'm not going to disappoint you today, because this is the example of Radamantis Infostealer malware, one of the most sophisticated one on the market. Everything here looks for you like a legitimate software, like a normal software. But believe me, not any normal software will not allow you to tick the boxes to choose what you're willing to steal from somebody else. Not any legitimate software will allow you to get to those numbers. And this is only the example of one threat actor that managed to steal over 6.7 million passwords, over 3,000 crypto wallets, and much, much more information. So probably now you ask yourself how this malware is delivered. And I have 4 examples for you today. In fact, there is a much more examples, but those are the mainstream, because to get to those numbers, you definitely need to operate this in scale. So the first delivery method is obviously the classical phishing email. When you get this email, there is a call to action, some social engineering techniques that you need to download the file or click on the link, and then you will get infected by the info stealing malware. The next example is the fake ads. The next time you're going to search the Google, not all the promoted ads are legitimate. Please remember it, because threat actors, what they're doing, they take somebody else's account already compromised, they take somebody else's credit card, they set up completely malicious and fake campaign, and then they promote some kind of software that everybody needs. And for example, everyone's computer sometimes is a little bit slow. They want to reduce the noise fan. So when the people will look for the software that will make their computer a little bit more faster, they will find something like that. They will click on this ad and they will redirect it to a completely fake site with the completely fake software. And as you guessed, this is the info stealer. The next example, this is the social media. Also here, it will be most likely or hijacked account or completely fake account. When the threat actors, they will leverage some kind of hype. This is the example of 1 year before when the ChatGPT was a big issue, but they leverage any kind of hype that is available right now on the news. They will offer you something that is too good to be true, and at the end of the day, you guess it right, this is the info stealer. And the last one, in my opinion, this is the most interesting one. This is the pirated software. All of us like free Photoshop. All of us like unlimited ammo in the Fortnite. And threat actors know about it. So this is the example of somebody that promoting free video editing software that basically is merged with the info stealer. They provide a tutorial how you can download it, how you can activate it, but again, this is the info stealer. Yes, so you will get free software, but you definitely will need to do some kind of trade-off to give to the threat actors the passwords and get the stealer. I know that until now I managed to throw on you a lot of information, and I want to simplify everything based on this example. Imagine yourself that you have an employee at the company that stores credentials inside the browser. Maybe this is allowed by the company policy, maybe it's not. You know, people do not follow the rules all the time. And then this employee is not willing to wait until the purchase order will be ready. So they go and they look for this pirated software, they download it, and then all the credentials are going to the attackers. Now the threat actors, at the next stage of the cybercrime monetization chain, they take a look inside and they finding something interesting. They always looking for some more juicy kind of content. And then they discover that there is a remote access to this company. So what they do, they take this data and they say, all right, we can monetize it much more, we can resell this piece of information. So they go on those Russian dark web forums and they sell this data as a standalone, as is. So this is the example of Thailand-based company and Singapore-based company where the threat actors took the remote connection that was discovered in the stealers and basically sell them as a standalone on those dark web forums. Obviously, they will need to mention the country name, how many employees, what is the revenue of the company, because nobody is willing to deal with some small candy shop. What kind of remote access? It's RDP, it's a VPN, maybe it's a user, or maybe it's an admin. How many devices? It's most likely relevant for the ransomware. And take a look at that, or the prices. They sell this like on the eBay. There is an initial price, there is a bid, and there is a buy it now price. So later, this probably is going to be the next ransomware case. So right now, I showed you the full cyber crime monetization chain based on the Infostealer infection. And in a few minutes that are left, I would like to share with you some misconceptions that I hear by speaking with different people from the industry about the Infostealers. So number one, usually people say the antivirus will protect me. And unfortunately, this is not true, because Infostealers, some of them know how to evade antiviruses. And as I mentioned before, all of us are human beings. So we are aware that people so want this free Photoshop, so they disable the antivirus and run by themselves the malware again. So number one, unfortunately, this is not true. Number two, the MFA, the multi-factor authentication, will protect me. And as you saw before, with the cookies issue, the threat actors can hijack the session and bypass the MFA. Number three, the complex and the long passwords will protect me, and unfortunately this is also not true, because the Infostealers, they know how to decrypt the passwords as is. So it doesn't matter if your password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it's a completely generated 55 characters password, it doesn't matter. The attackers will see the password as is. Number four, Apple devices do not have viruses. And this is also unfortunately not true, because around 2.5 years ago at Hudson Rock, we started to see also the stealers that targeting Mac devices. They are still minority, but they definitely exist. And ladies and gentlemen, the last one. The last one, this is the wrong cybersecurity mindset. That basically people will say it will not happen to me. It's the last one here, but now I think it should be the first one, because the human error, there is usually when all the problems start. So the wrong cybersecurity mindset is a very, very big problem. Before I finish my speech, if you right now guess, if you've been affected, or maybe your company was affected, you don't need to guess anymore, because you can visit hudsonrock.com. We have a completely 100% free tools. They're open for everybody. You don't need to provide any registration, no credit card, nothing. You're welcome to check your email. You're welcome to check your domain. If you see even one match, you're welcome to contact us. We have the ethical disclosure policy that we will able to give you all your data completely for free, no obligation, once that you will able to take measures on your end. Thank you very much for listening. Take care.
That's excellent presentation. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, we have come to an end of the first day of our tech stage at Cybersec Asia 2025, together with Thailand International Cyber Week 2025. Up on the screen, again, we would like to request your feedback. You can do the conference survey that we are going to collect all the feedback and your comment and the reviews to approve for our future event. And also in this afternoon, in this evening, we will arrange some of the exciting networking night that you can enjoy and participate with the business opportunities among each other. We have the event are going to be held at Sing Sing Theater, which you can check on our official website, and also that you can buy the ticket online. The ticket is cost only 500 baht each. Also that you can just buy the ticket on site as well. So the party will start and begin since like 6 p.m. so you can just make your way there. For more detail, for more information, just contact our staff at the registration desk นะก็สำหรับในช่วงนี้ขอบคุณทุกท่านอีกครั้งหนึ่งด้วยนะคะเมื่อสักครู่นี้นะคะได้ฟังในเรื่องของตัวข้อมูลนะคะที่น่าสนใจนะคะเกี่ยวกับหัวใจสำคัญของการโจมตีทางไซเบอร์ในยุคใหม่นะคะนั่นก็คือ Infostealer นะคะซึ่งมีความสำคัญแล้วก็เป็นสิ่งที่ต้องให้ความสนใจเป็นอย่างมากเลยทีเดียวนะคะสำหรับภัยคุกคามระยะยาวนะคะข้อมูลที่มีค่าสูงแล้วก็เป็นภัยคุกคามที่พัฒนาอยู่เสมอในโลกของไซเบอร์เพราะฉะนั้นเราก็ต้องตามให้ทันแล้วก็นะคะแน่นอนว่าวิธีแพร่กระจายต่างๆการทำความเข้าใจให้ถูกต้องเพราะว่ามี misinformation หรือความเข้าใจผิดๆมากมายเลยทีเดียวนะคะเมื่อสักครู่นี้คุณเลโอนิดก็ได้ให้ข้อมูลที่กระจ่างแล้วก็ไขข้อข้องใจต่างๆให้เราได้ฟังกันเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมอยากจะพูดคุยสอบถามเรียนเชิญนะคะสามารถที่จะทำการพูดคุยสอบถามนะคะกับสปีกเกอร์ของเราเขายังอยู่ตรงนี้หรือว่าอยากที่จะไปที่networking night นะคะเดี๋ยวเราจะมีการจัดงานนะคะในช่วงเย็นวันนี้ด้วยนะก็จะเป็นที่ซิงเทียเตอร์นะคะสำหรับท่านที่สนใจอยากที่จะขยายฐานโอกาสทางธุรกิจหรือว่าอยากจะไปพูดคุยรายละเอียดนะคะกับ Service Provider ท่านอื่นๆเพิ่มเติมนะคะก็ดูในเว็บไซต์นะคะสามารถที่จะจองบัตรราคาอยู่ที่500 บาทต่อท่านค่ะรวมไปถึงแล้วนะคะหรือว่าจะซื้อที่บริเวณด้านหน้างานนะคะ on site walk in ไปได้เช่นเดียวกันกับซิงเทียเตอร์นะคะถ้าเกิดว่าไม่แน่ใจข้อมูลหรือว่าอยากจะสอบถามข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมอย่างไรนะคะสามารถเข้าไปดูรายละเอียดกันได้เลยก็จะมีรายละเอียดอยู่ที่เว็บไซต์คุณสามารถที่จะจองตั๋วผ่านออนไลน์ได้หรือว่าจะสอบถามเจ้าหน้าที่ที่บริเวณจุดลงทะเบียนด้านหน้าด้วยนะคะ Okay, before we are going to say goodbye for this evening, I would like to just remind you once again that you can visit our website for more detail. Also, that you can check the current agenda. Just scan the QR code in the back of your badge to access the mobile application. We would like to invite all of you once again to tomorrow agenda, which is we are going to start at 10:30 a.m. with a session by Holdhost, followed by the sessions from HackerOne and Delinea in the morning session. And then we will have a lunch break for like 1 hour. And then we'll come back again to start the long list of interesting session in the afternoon. So start from the session from Defender. We have this session going to delivered by the IO Foundation, Tetris, CISO, and Airline Captain, Center of AI Leadership, also Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand, and the last session of the day from Siam Tanat Hack Company Limited. Okay, thank you once again and hope to see you again tomorrow. This time you can just enjoy and explore more details and experience from our exhibitors right inside the Panery Hall. We have the main stage right outside and also the Cybersec stage which will be held at MR 111. So see you again tomorrow and travel safely. Goodbye for now. สวัสดีค่ะ